Hello!
Hi everybody, welcome to another live edition of Ash and Des Remember. I'm Des O'Gorman.
Hello.
Yeah, well done.
Yeah, I know. I'm Ash Price, and just before we actually go any further, I think we need to mute the television because there's a little bit of feedback
No, that was the computer.
Oh, that was the computer. I mean, there shouldn't be any feedback anywhere, but
No.
week 3 and our third week of technical difficulties.
Yay! Why?
Because it's there. Ash and Des Remember is a podcast based on all things geeky, nerdy and nostalgic of growing up in the 80s and 90s. If you've watched any of our previous streams, you'll know we played Atmosphere, and then last week, what did we do?
We stumbled our way through Sonic the Hedgehog on the Sega Master System. You know what? I say that, but it was actually a good episode.
It was a good episode.
I enjoyed it.
Fun.
It was.
And this week it is a general live podcast recording. We're going to be looking at a general look of things 90s related. You can see that we've got an array of things from the 90s and from growing up, including this mug here, which is not the original one I had, but it is a original 1985 Thundercats mug. And
just don't ask Ash how much he spent on that mug.
Only 15 quid, to be absolutely honest. Not bad.
Not bad for a mug.
For a retro mug that is 2 years younger than me. And in that good of condition. This
better than us.
Do you remember this, Des?
I do, unfortunately, remember that weird bloody thing that Timmy Mallet had.
Timmy Mallet and Wackaday, and of course the glasses from the hit song Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini.
That she wore for the first time today.
Yeah, I'm going to take that off. Actually,
why not? No, keep them on.
No, you know what? Actually, that really helps with the glare of the lights.
There we go. Yeah. And it's obviously a good look that you are going for, because I don't know if you're actually going for Timmy Mallet or more young Elton John, but you know either way works for
Why not both?
Yes.
Why not both?
So Elton Mallet.
Elton Mallet, yeah. Someone wants to photo...
Timmy John.
Timmy John?
Yeah. Just
sounds like a pimp.
No, if anything, I just would have said, like, it sounds like your Irish next door neighbour that owes you 15 quid. Yeah. Timmy John, here, cheers. Jimmy. Oh, no, he's away.
I'm guessing that's an Irish-specific joke.
No, not really.
Okay.
Yeah.
So... Tonight is part of PBH's Free Fringe, and also hopefully this will be going out as a regular or special edition of the podcast. Podcast goes out every Friday.
Yes, it does.
And you can go to ashanddes.co.uk and click on podcast and you can find it there.
Yep.
And Des.
Yes.
Before we kind of get into the stuff that's on the table and all of that.
The plethora of stuff.
The plethora.
The plethora.
Do you remember Three Amigos?
I do remember the Three Amigos, yes.
Have you bought me a plethora? Have I got a plethora? Yes, you've got a plethora, El Guapo. Do you know what a plethora is? No? I remember that film.
Yeah, it was
it's a great film.
Yes. What are we doing though, Ash? Come on.
So, I grew up in late 80s, early 90s England, and Des?
I grew up in the late 80s, early 90s in Northern Ireland. For those of you that know your history, the 80s and 90s in Northern Ireland, it wasn't good anyway.
It was one great big whack-a-day.
Yeah, that's how we marked down in the history books, Ash. Yeah, how whack-a-day.
Moving swiftly on. Let's talk about the fun stuff of the 80s and 90s, not the acts of mass terrorism.
Yeah, let's not go down that route.
Yes. By the way, to be absolutely honest, as an Englishman, sorry about that whole thing.
I accept your apology on behalf of the entire nation.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, growing up in the 90s is obviously very different now because kids nowadays, they just don't understand what it was like growing up in the 90s. You've got an entire computer in your pocket nowadays.
You know what, Ash, if you're going to do it like that, you have to do it proper. Hang on. Back in my day,
in my day, everything ran on treacle.
Ran on treacle.
You've got to remember, you must remember, at school, maths teachers saying, oh, you've got to learn how to do multiplication because you won't be going around with a calculator in your pocket.
Yeah. Yeah.
This was an era when we all had calculators on our watches.
I know, and we thought that was the height of technology.
It was the height of technology.
You were the type of person, there was three type of people growing up, right? You had people that had your regular digital watches, right? You had the people that had those digital watches that had the calculator built in, and you had those rich wankers that had the TV remote control into a digital watch.
Who would screw around
Oh
in
my
class.
god. Just gonna, just scratch my nose here, boop, and then just everything is kind of messed up. And for those of you out there, you know who you are.
Can you bring up that watch, actually? The 90s calculator watch. See if you can find it.
Yeah. See if you can find TV remote control digital watch.
Oh, yeah.
Because
yeah.
I always remember that it was like a big square watch that it had the infrared sensor at the top.
Oh, God, that's them.
That's all, more or less all three right there.
Oh, there we go.
Can the people see that?
Yeah, we can see that.
I mean, look at it. Look at it.
That is beautiful.
That is horrible. I mean, everybody, we could do. I mean, I wear a smartwatch, because it's me, and I love this thing. But can it control a TV? Well, technically, it can if you're doing it through a Chromecast, but not as cool as that. Marty McFly had one when he travelled back in 1950. Well, not the remote control; he had the calculator watch. But he was.
Oh God, yeah, because he's got his hand on the phone and his watch goes.
It just beeps.
And the guy's just walking by and just looks at him.
Yeah.
He's like.
Yeah, I love how sound effects are usually added in, because Marty's watch didn't have an alarm or anything set. All he had to do was just move his hand slightly and the alarm just stopped. He hit no button. He just moved his hand away. But we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
The 90s, I like to think, was, if you look past everything around that period in Northern Ireland, to be honest with you, one of my earliest memories is the house slates falling off when a British Army helicopter flew over fortnightly and landed in the field directly beside my house, in which British Army officers would just leap out and walk the roads, fully armed.
So James Fuller was on Whackaday.
What?
Yeah,
No.
yeah. Come on, James Fuller. I was on Whackaday. That's amazing. I was never on television or anything as a kid. I never got onto any of the game shows or anything like that.
Look at you now!
I mean, literally, I was on BBC Scotland last week, but okay.
Yeah, but that doesn't count because you're a full-grown adult.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's
James, what was it like? You got to give us details.
Yeah, exactly.
What were you doing? Did you get whacked? Yeah, that's it.
No, don't say that.
What?
Especially not with celebrities of that era and some of the. Yeah, don't go there.
So he didn't get whacked?
Don't go there. Let's move swiftly on. James, I'm sorry for Des. So
what?
Okay. No, but growing up in the 90s was a very, very different time. Mm-hmm. And we look back through rose-tinted glasses. And sometimes I think, I'd love to go back then. And then I think... No. Because I would miss the internet. You couldn't do this in the 90s with any ease.
Imagine trying to do this with a dial-up internet connection. Oh my god. Yeah. I think there's one joke in the ATE crowd that I remember that always stuck with me. Is that, do you remember growing up on the internet with the 90s? You'd stay up all night and you'd see 3 women.
Oh, yeah. I'm see, the fact that that's written by Glenna now makes that...
Yeah.
Yeah, let's move swiftly on from that.
Let's go from there. What are the happy memories that you have of the 90s?
So when I was a kid, I used to go ghost hunting. At the weekend.
Of course you did.
So there was a park behind me, right?
Uh-huh.
And it had these things called the Rally Banks, Humberston Park in Leicester. And apparently a train used to go along there, train track used to go along there, apparently. And we always had this idea, we told this story, that a train derailed and crashed.
Of course.
And that a ghost train haunted it. And so one weekend, me and my mate Scott went out ghost hunting. Now the rally banks are covered in soil and dirt. Mm-hmm. In our minds, we kind of thought, if there's a ghost train going around here, it could leave tracks. But we need something to put down on the ground so that it can leave tracks in.
That's where you add in that gift of it.
Yeah. Even though there's soil there.
Yeah. Soil's not good enough. You need to put something else.
So we got a load of talcum powder, and I'm not sure how environmentally friendly this was.
Probably not.
And we just covered this entire area of the rally banks with talcum powder, and came back the next day. And would you believe it? There was nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
Shocker.
No change. But we'd spent ages kind of investigating it, and I remember hearing these stories of like ley lines, and when I was younger, before I kind of understood the kind of the psychology behind belief in the paranormal and all of that, I was like really deeply into it. I was like, oh, this is genuinely real. It has to be. And I go investigating the supernatural, and I've always really been into the world of the spooky.
Yeah.
What about you? What do you remember? What was your good memories of the 90s?
Good memories of the 90s. I remember that the first cassette that I bought myself was the soundtrack to Mission Impossible. Mm-hmm. Because it had that really awesome remake of the Mission Impossible theme. Yep. The first CD I ever bought for myself was the Alan Silvestri score for the film Volcano.
Do you want to know the first record I bought?
Oh, I would love that. Please, what was it?
Star Trekking by The Firm.
I hate you so much right now, but yet I love you all at the same time.
My mum...
That was your first record?
My mum had to put a little star on which side of the record was the actual song, because on the other side there was something called Dub Trek, and it scared me.
Oh, that's adorable. Actually, speaking of this, I don't know if you remember this, Ash. Do you remember back in the day when you used to be able to get free stuff in cereal?
Yes,
like
I remember.
Yeah. One of the things I actually remember the most was that in the 90s, they went through this period of revitalizing Jerry Anderson things. So you had like a lot... Exactly. Yeah. So you had like the revival of Thunderbirds and Joe 90 and Stingray and all those. I remember this so vividly that on a box of Frosties, they actually had a vinyl record of the Stingray theme on the box.
Oh, I remember those. Yeah.
And you used to
cut it out.
Cut it out.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. I just put a knife in it and I forced the record off. It was fine. There was like a little dimple at the top corner of... I say a corner, it was a circle. At one part of it. So you just move the needle in a little bit and it was fine.
Yeah,
it was fine.
Teresa, just on the website one, can you bring up YouTube on that? And can you just bring up Twitch on that, please? Yep. Sorry. Just make sure we've got all the... So we can see everything
covered.
So we've got all the bases covered. No one's talking on Twitch. My brother is probably on there. DJ Mikey, if you're on Twitch, hello.
We do have a comment on YouTube from my good friend Doug Fenn.
Oh, no, YouTube's up here?
Oh, well, I have it here.
Okay,
so,
if you want to...
I'm going to read it here.
Okay. That doesn't help.
No, it doesn't, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Yep. So can you bring up Facebook, Twitch on here then?
Well, no, I'm going to move it back. I'm just reading this out because it's easy. Okay. When I think of the 90s,
so technically inept.
I of course track my nostalgia to wrestling. As a kid, Hogan vs. Warrior was just taking off. As I started maturing, the Attitude Era started. Perfect time to be born as a fan, and to reference something very 90s linked to cereal. Who remembers Kellogg's Banana Bubbles? Rice Krispies with bananas laced. You got banana milk. Oh,
I remember that.
I do. And they were fucking horrible. They were repulsive.
I have much more roast into glasses of those, clearly.
Oh my god, that tasted rank. You don't remember how bad they tasted?
No, I just remember them... I just have this memory of them existing, and I guess I enjoyed them.
I remember them existing as well. I did not think about that, Doug, until you mentioned it there now. And now that I think about it, they tasted horrible. They were so bad. But yet, again, we look at things through rose-tinted glasses.
Who can remember one of the best bad guys... TV, Wolf from the Gladiators.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Wolf from Gladiators.
I always remember there was one episode where Wolf was on and doing his old wolfy thing. Yeah, that's actually a really good Wolf impression. Yeah. Either that or you're having a stroke, one or the other.
Why not both?
Why not? A wolf stroke.
Maybe Wolf was just having like a series-long stroke.
Yeah, so asking if somebody got whacked on Wackaday, that's wrong. But yet saying you're having a wolf stroke, that's fine. So I just remember...
A wolf stroke is how we help to reintroduce the species into...
Oh, dear God. I just remember there was one episode where Wolf was... He was prowling, and he ran over to a kid in the audience that had one of those big foam fingers.
Oh, we don't have foam fingers. We need foam fingers.
Yeah. So and he took it and he ripped it apart, and he ran away, and the child started crying But it gets better because you got the commentators just going, "There's Wolf doing all the things that
Wolfy
Wolf does,"
things.
and then Wolf ran back with another foam finger signed by him,
Aw.
which if anything devalued the finger from the second that it left his hands. And then the commentators just saying, "Wolf, he may be a bad guy, but he's got a heart of gold." Just like, well, keep your character consistent. Is he a bastard or is he not? He's one or the other.
Yeah, exactly. The ambiguity of 90s villains. Kenny, thank you. Yes, Green Ranger t-shirt. I can only just still fit into this because lockdown has not been kind.
No, it has not. You do not get a body like this by eating salads. Definitely not.
No, I did so well. And then, like, after my wedding, I just kind of went, well, I can eat badly, it's my wedding. And then it was like, we're getting up for Christmas, so I'm going to eat badly because it's Christmas. And then the new year is like, oh, everything's still crap, so I'm going to eat more. And it's just like, now it's got to the stage of, yeah, I'm fat again.
We're getting fat, people. Let's face it. We are in our 30s. We're both married. It's time to get fat. I don't think I should be saying that out loud, especially with your wife being right over there. But... yeah.
Here at Ash and Des, remember, we do not discourage or encourage any type of particular lifestyle.
That's true.
So,
yeah.
back to the 90s. Because I actually used to get bullied for being fat in the 90s. Like, one of the many things I got bullied for was like, the 90s, like, there's this idea that when you were bullied as a kid, it's kind of like, it's character building. It's like, what type of character is it? Albert Wesker?
Yeah. Oh, nicely done. Yeah, it's character building, in which case everybody's getting to play Seymour Krelborn from Little Shop of Horrors.
So, when I was younger, and I used to collect Star Trek Voyager cassettes back in the 90s when they first came out, big Voyager fan, and one of my school bullies came up to me. I
love this story.
He came up to me, and he's like, "Oi, you, come here." I'm like, "Oh, I'm going to get it. And he's like, "Come here." I was like, "Okay." And he's like, "I hear you like Star Trek Voyager." I'm like, "Yes." Thinking, I'm going to get a beating. Mm-hmm. And he's like, "I hear you buy the videos, don't you?" Yes, I do. You've got the latest ones, I bet, haven't you? Yes, I have. And he looks around, makes sure no one's there, and he leans in as if he's about to conduct a drug deal, and he goes, "Can I borrow them?"
I know. It's
just like, oh my God, it's like, wow, everyone was a geek.
Yep.
Secretly a geek. Like, nowadays it's easy to be a geek.
Oh, yeah.
In our days, we earned our geekdom.
Damn right we did.
Speaking of earning our geekdom, let's dive into some of the stuff we have on the table.
Now, I want everybody to know that everything on this table came from Ash's little collection right back here. This is all Ash's stuff, okay? So where do you want to start, Ash? Where do you think is the best place to start?
I want to start with the one thing on here that is actually handmade.
Ooh.
And it is this. It is this here. It is...
What is it, Ash?
If we can see it. It is a Jurassic Park made out of clay. On Friday afternoons,
of course,
we would sometimes have artwork in primary school. Mm-hmm. And I made this. And I said, "Oh, can we paint it so it's red?" And I was like, yeah, it'll turn red in the kiln. It's like, it's not red.
That's not red.
The teacher wrote Jurassic Park on it. But I was so proud of this. I made this.
Yeah.
I birthed this. Metaphorically.
Yeah, thank God for that.
And I think for a 10-year-old, I think that's really quite good.
Yeah, if anything, the fact that your teacher did the Jurassic Park thing is the worst part of it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I think that works out.
What was the name of the teacher?
Oh, I don't remember.
You can't remember.
I don't remember. I remember a few teachers from primary school. Mr. Hanratty was our headmaster. When he'd lead us in daily prayers because we were in English school.
And we've already covered that in an episode of Ash. Yes, remember.
And Mrs. Smith,
who was on the run from something and gave herself the blandest name possible.
To be fair, she made me and a girl I was friends with stand up, and she made me sing that Daisy, Give Me Your Answer Do marriage song to her, and then kiss her hand.
Yeah, again, we covered that in the podcast.
That's creepy.
Yeah.
Don't do that. Teachers, do not make students sing love songs to each other in front of the entire class and then kiss, even if it is just their hands. Don't do that.
Especially now.
Yeah. But never. Generally don't.
Just don't do it.
So when I was a kid, I used to collect loads of toys. And I don't have, sadly, I don't have any of my actual toys from being a kid.
That's okay.
Because I lost them, or when I was like 9, I was bored with Star Wars when I was 9 or something like that, so I threw my entire Star Wars toy collection into the skip. And now I look at what it's worth on eBay, and I want to travel back in time and slap my 9-year-old self.
Or retrieve the toys.
Why not both?
Yeah, why not both? There is one thing on the table that I'd like to bring up.
Yes.
If that's all right. Is this little fella right here.
This
awesome thing, which as most people would recognise now, this is obviously Slimer.
But it's not though, is it?
It's not, no.
What is it, Des?
This, on the packaging, was known simply as Green Ghost. Because they didn't have the name of Slimer yet from the real Ghostbusters. They hadn't gotten that far into the episode. So on the packaging, he was just known as Green Ghost. And he came with a T-bone steak and pizza with the big chomp out of it.
Yeah.
Now, is this one of the originals from 1986?
It is an original, yeah.
Wow.
That one is an original.
Now, I actually didn't have this Slimer. I had a later variant of Slimer. Now, obviously, as the series went on, they came out with many different variants on the Ghostbusters and the ghosts and everything. You had the flushing ghost, you had the eye popper ghost, and they re-released Slimer, and the version that I got was slightly different than this. First of all, he's smiling, the version that I got, because in the marketing, Slimer was still a bad guy until they changed him.
Wasn't he? Yeah. Yes, he became a good guy and became popular.
I know.
Which is what happens in TV. As soon as a bad guy becomes popular, it's like, well, let's make him a good guy. It's like, everyone loves Loki. Make him a good guy.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, an ambiguous character. Ambiguous.
He's the anti-hero.
He's the anti-hero.
Yeah. As opposed to Slimer, who was just all that stuff. The one that I had came with a proton pack.
What?
Yep.
What?
Yep.
What?
Once more.
What?
There we go. Mine came with a proton pack. It was the same as the one they got with Gaze. They used to be plug in and out.
Can you find that?
And it had a little no ghost logo on his arm. Because he was part of the team. So if you search real Ghostbusters, Slimer with proton pack.
Yeah, have a look. See if we can find that. See if we can bring that up.
Yes, thank you, Holly.
Is that him? Oh my god!
No, packaging. Next one over, Teresa.
Next one over. Oh, I see. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. So if you can open that up, and you'll see.
Oh wow!
It's not the best image, but
Control and plus will zoom in on that.
There you go.
There we go.
It is. So yeah, that.
Oh my god! Wow.
That came with. I think if I remember, he had like little wheels or something, so his mouth would open and close as he was running. And you can see on his arm that he has
the no ghost
logo,
yeah.
Because he's one of the guys. Because there's nothing weirder than a ghost trapping other ghosts for all eternity in a containment unit. Because that's not weird. But yeah, when Slimer first was released, he was known as just Green Ghost. One of the first wave. And I just love that I get to do this, because that's just cool.
And I'd love to get more of these retro toys, in order to assist us in buying these retro toys.
Oh, seamless.
You can donate to supporters, paypal.me/noisyghost.ent. Because we're doing a few shows over the Fringe, just leave a little note like remember or something, so we know which show it's for.
Yeah.
But
all donations will be greatly appreciated and will help us waste your money on tat for future shows.
For example,
yes,
mini boglins.
Oh my god!
Did you ever get mini boglins?
I did not, because every time I saw one of these things, two things put me off. One, they creeped me out. Two, they smell horrible when they first came out of the packaging. They smell of like just pure plastic. They were horrible.
Are you talking about mini boglins or the actual boglins? Because look at the real big ones.
I'm actually talking about the actual.
You're talking about the actual.
Yes.
Okay, so you've got the regular boglins.
Yes.
And then you got the mini boglins, and then you got I can't remember what they were called. Like if they were micro boglins or something like that, or mini or boglins. Baby boglins.
All right.
And they were basically mini boglin sized actual boglins. So you could kind of stick your finger in them and kind of waggle them around.
Yeah.
Like they were a full size boglin, but they were like little mini ones. And there's so many of these. So, some of them are really hard to get hold of. I have a complete set of the.
What is that?
This one's a Dracula. This is a vampire one.
No, it's not.
I know you keep saying it's not, but
it's not.
What is it?
It's a gargoyle. Look at the colour. Look at the design. Look at the
Their
shape.
boglins are all gargoyle-like.
Yeah,
that's
exactly,
what they're
but
inspired
that's a gargoyle. That's all I'm saying.
It's very much not.
Now this one, this one originally start off as purple and you just rubbed it,
No,
most of it off?
because that's a glow-in-the-dark one. Over the past 30 years, it kind of loses a little bit of its colouring, but it still does kind of. Yeah, if you hold it up like that, you can see it glows in the dark a bit. His name is Perlock.
For those of you that don't get the reference, he's wearing a deerstalker, he has a pipe and a magnifying glass, therefore he's Sherlock. Or, what was his name?
Perlock.
Perlock.
Because all of this, I think it was V's with the Jokers, they all began with a P.
Of course.
But
they're Jokers, but they began with a P.
Each of the little tribes of Boglins, all the names began with the same letter within that little groups to I guess to help identify them.
Which just goes to show that back in the day, if you advertise properly, we children would buy any shit going. And more to the
these were good.
Yeah, those were good.
These were cool.
Yeah, these were okay. This is what I'm talking about. Mighty Max.
That was shit.
Of course, look at it.
It's amazing.
Right. Yes, thank you, Teresa.
No, I like that.
You like them.
Yeah, we're criticising you, Des.
Okay, you can criticise all you want. These things are bloody stupid.
Why? Go on, defend that.
Oh God, here we go. Right.
Defend that.
Okay, right. First of all, this is a knee-jerk reaction to the Polly Pocket. This is the bloke.
They were made by the
version.
same company, weren't
Exactly. Yeah. So girls had Polly Pockets.
How was it a knee-jerk reaction when the company went, "We can make toys for boys and girls"?
Why can't you just make one for both?
I mean, you could easily, but this was the 90s.
Right.
We were a little bit more misogynistic.
Of course. Right. Where's Max?
He's underneath the elephant dude. He's in the elephant.
He's in the elephant. He is in the elephant. Right. All I'm saying is that these sets, I like the premise, the idea, but it just doesn't make sense that they're just so tiny that you lose these things so... Look at this!
Yeah, exactly. This is so tiny that... And it's 30 years old, and it's just been lost. It's so... Oh, wait, Des, I think your argument may be falling down here.
Oh, right, because you got one. How many sets are out there where just Mighty Max is just hidden, lost in the valley of time, never to see light again? He's running around like Woody in Toy Story 4, spoiler alert, that he's just a free toy.
I would like to introduce you to this concept called eBay. And you can go and find out how many complete sets there are.
And how much did you pay for this?
I paid a tenner.
Okay.
I think 10 quid, which is about what it would have cost back in the 90s.
I just didn't get it. I didn't get the appeal.
I mean, that's fine. Not getting it, not understanding it, or it being for you is fine. But let's not go all internet warrior on this and say because I don't like it, no one else should like it.
But Ash, isn't that what this show is all about?
No, that's our other show, Wins the Internet.
Oh yeah, of course. Yes, Wins the Internet tomorrow night,
8:30.
Yes, that's right. I may have angered all of you by saying I don't like Mighty Max, but that still doesn't mean I can't get a plug in for our other show.
Yeah, it's fine. When you donate, just put Ash in the donation and Des won't get any.
No, of course not.
And I will spend it all on Mighty Max. So another thing that I kind of picked up, and again, I think this was kind of a good price that I got it for. It was £40.
Okay.
Pop
everything back in.
Pop him back in.
Pop back in. There.
So cool. I don't care what he says. Especially because, it is vastly superior to any Ghostbusters product. I mean, do you see those toys in the 80s? Just look at that. Just look at that. It's like, just look at that. It's like, it doesn't even fly.
Yeah. Oh, you mean like the packaging that's back there of the Ghost Popper that you spent modern day money on?
So cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
It is pretty cool.
Cool. Yeah. I was actually looking, there's the plastic proton packs. They're actually quite affordable. I say quite affordable, they're like 50, 60 quid, so they're not. But
it's okay, if you just hold out, you can get like the Afterlife version of them that's coming out soon.
No, on the original 80s one, I used to run around my nan's house wearing on my back.
Oh,
zapping ghosts.
Yeah, I'll get the slime blower again and moisten everything with a pink phallus. Remember we talked about it during that episode where, everybody had a proton pack and I had the slime blower. What's this? Okay,
are you alright? Are you good?
I might need a minute.
You might need a minute?
Yeah.
With all that moistness and pink phalluses?
Teresa, if you can find a picture of the real Ghostbusters slime blower.
Real Ghostbusters slime blower. Let's have a look. Let's see what this is. Because this is...
I spelled slime.
Oh, is it the purple one?
It's
on
the purple one
on the
right
far
there.
right.
Yeah. That one. That's what I had.
Okay.
Right? And I don't know if you can see it on the handle somewhere. There was a little button, and it would just pop out a pink tube that was supposed to represent the slime.
Like a dog's winky.
Exactly like a dog's winky. Yes, my slime blower would red rocket whenever I wanted it to fire. Go back to the search, Teresa, and see if you can find any of the images with the... You see, there.
Oh, I can see that.
Yeah,
that
see what I mean?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is... Oh my god.
Do you want to take back your previous statement, Ash?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
Yeah.
I've seen those no, I haven't.
Yeah. Those, they're definitely pink slime, so they'll definitely make you feel good. Make you wake up feeling like $1 million.
Okay. Do you want to talk about this? We will get onto this. We will get onto this, but I wanted to talk about
this.
You talk about this.
Ladies and gentlemen, for those of you of the right age, not just the case itself, not just the cover, but everybody remembers the black monoliths of entertainment. Look at these. These amazing pieces of kit. The VHS cassette. This thing is incredible. Just tap it, Ash. Make everybody feel the nostalgia. Tap. Oh, do you hear it? Do you hear that? Yeah. It's a thing of wonder and amazement and beauty. In fact, so much that they actually made not one, but 2 different VHS jokes in Red Dwarf. Because they used to, remember in the original series, their VHS tapes were big pink, big triangles.
Yeah.
And then in later series, they made the joke that most people would get DVDs, but they would get scratched up and lost. So they went back to this so people wouldn't lose them. I had to take this one out of Ash's collection. For one thing, it's a VHS. I love VHS as a means of entertainment. But second of all, this is one of the first Red Dwarf videos that I had, was the Smeg Ups.
Same with me, actually.
Yeah.
I actually think that might be the first one that I got as well.
I got this one. I got this out of a Curry's for $7.99. I remember this vividly. Actually, no, sorry, I tell a lie. I saw Series 1 in Curry's, and it was being sold for £16. I got this out of a Woolworths.
Oh, Woolies.
For £5.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
I'm just going to grab now. You talk about that. I'm going to grab something else.
The one thing I remember the most about this was that it was one of the first bits of entertainment that I showed my mum. This is going to sound so weird. And she loved this show. She loved how the characters kept messing up and how the models wouldn't fly properly. So I've got a lot of great fond memories of the Red Dwarf Smeg Ups tape. But obviously, Ash, you're holding up something extra special.
Yeah, so I actually think... I'm fairly certain that for at least a period of time, this was a Woolworths exclusive.
Ooh.
I think this actually was. So you got Smeg Ups, and there's also the sequel video, Smeg Outs, which is on with my video collection.
Yeah. But Ash, what if you want one and the other, but you can't afford both? What do you do?
Well, for a slightly reduced price, I imagine, you could get this, which is a double VHS.
Oh, look at it.
Look at it. And I'm guessing it is exactly the same video inside with the exact same...
exactly the same.
And everything.
Exactly the same, yep.
And there's a few of these, because they released Blackadder like this as well.
That's right.
Essentially a collection of the 2 Smeg Ups and Smeg Outs videos. And I just... Running time, 102 minutes. Over 100 minutes of hilarious outtakes. 102. Do you see those things where it's like a random number? It's like over 13 minutes of entertainment or over 27 editions. It's like, well, so 28?
No, they want that specific amount of time so parents can be like, okay, if I time this very quickly, I could be back here in 26 minutes.
It's just bizarre. It's like over 13 minutes, over 27 minutes of entertainment. But this is... So this... What I liked about these is one of them has... not only the extended tongue-tied video, but a sort of mini documentary, a visit to the Red Dwarf convention.
Oh.
And it was, I watched it, I was like, I really want to go to one of those one day.
Yeah.
And then I got older and I grew up and I still haven't.
Yeah. I'm going next week.
Yeah.
So, what's the other one, Ash? This?
The other one.
This. Oh.
Okay, so this...
Save that bit till last. Because
yeah.
I don't even know if people will be able to see it.
I don't think they will, but this is 6 of the best.
Yeah.
And I remember getting this, and this was before I had all of the episodes on video.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just literally 6 of the best episodes.
Right. So let's go through. So the episodes I have here: Future Echoes, classic.
From Series 1.
Series 1.
Yeah, I'd give that...
Queeg.
That is not my favourite episode of Series 2. I would say
it's Norman Lovett's.
Yeah.
He loves this episode. Because it's Holly.
It's a Holly episode.
It's a Holly episode.
I would say, actually, out of all of the Series 2 episodes, that is my least favourite.
Wow.
Yeah.
Brave, bold statement.
Yeah.
Polymorph.
Is alright.
It's an alright episode. It's okay.
Fun fact, on the Red Dwarf Series 3 release,
yeah.
It was the only one that wasn't a PG, that was a 12 certificate or 15 certificate.
Yeah.
Other than Smegups. And everyone kind of assumed it was because of Polymorph, because it begins with a warning.
That's right.
And it's not. It's because of Marooned, because of Lister talking about losing his virginity
Of course.
under the age of consent.
Yeah.
So that's why
Yeah.
it had a higher age certificate.
even to this day, I still never would call it that. Because it's done for laughs.
Yeah.
You lost your virginity when you were 12?
You couldn't have been a full member of the golf course then. And then we got this, which I thought was a soundtrack CD when I got it. It's not. It's an interview with Rob Grant, Doug Naylor, and Ed Bye.
Wait a minute,
That's just a discussion.
Is this an audio commentary to go with
It's basically it does discuss all 6 of them,
Yeah.
but it's not a commentary. It's literally an interview. They sit down and they spend an hour just discussing those 6 episodes.
I love the description on the back of the CD. Red Dwarf writers and creators Rob Grant and Doug Naylor discuss all things dwarfish with director-producer Ed Bye. Something dwarfish? You couldn't have gone Smegish? Or discuss...
Or even Dwarfian. All things Dwarfian.
Yeah, or all things of the Small Rouge one. Anything along those lines.
And there was one more thing that came with this. And actually 2 more things, technically, because one came inside and one was on the outside.
Yeah.
And I doubt you can see it very well, but is this hologram?
I don't know if you'll be able
I'm not sure if you can see it that well.
You might need it. Oh, hang on. You just about saw it on...
Just about saw it on that one.
It's essentially, if you do it back and forth...
Yeah.
And get the light to swivel around. There you go.
Ooh.
Yeah. It's a little 3D sticker of Starbug. Which every time I see something like that, my first thought is, oh, that's so 90s.
It
Because
is,
they
isn't
were
it? It
big
is.
in the
It
90s.
really
Yeah.
is. Holograms were huge.
Yeah. And like you said, there's one on the outside of the box as well. I'm surprised we actually had room for anything else in our houses when it came to VHS.
VHS, I mean, my Red Dwarf collection there, I think it's a complete video collection, and it just takes that entire shelf.
Yep. You have the DVDs beside it, and they take up about the same size as 3 VHSs.
Oh, like literally, I don't think they take up much more space than that.
It's ridiculous.
And there's another thing up there. There's another video, and I remember I was in WH Smith's, and I was going through their catalogue of videos, and I saw Red Dwarf the cat tongue-tied.
Yeah.
And at this stage, I didn't know anything about Tongue-Tied, the single.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, that's weird. I'll have to order that. So I ordered it,
Yeah.
and I got it, and there's a video over there with it. But we have the cassette. Here, this was released. This got to number 17 in the charts. This is from Parallel Universe, Series 2.
Yep.
And it is a new version that was done.
That's right. Which is one of the most 90th things that you could listen to.
Go and find it on YouTube.
Yeah.
Red Dwarf the Cat, Tongue-Tied the single.
Yeah, and watch the video. Because the video is very 90s as well.
And, oh my God.
Look at the inlay.
Look
at the inlay. Look at that.
Oh, that is something, isn't it?
And just something else, just for anybody watching at home. Who else sees a cassette and one of 2 thoughts pop into your head? 1...
Pencil.
Well, that as well. Right, one of 3 thoughts there. 1, pencil. 2, this is a music cassette Or 3, this is a video game cassette.
This is oh god, yeah.
Yeah.
When games came on tape.
Yeah. God, we lived at a weird time, didn't
We did. Like you'd wait 10 minutes for it to load, and then the load would fail, and it's like
I literally, this is no word of a lie, I literally had a machine that played those cassettes. I put a cassette in, pressed play, went and had a bath, and came back and the thing still hadn't loaded. And even when it did, it crashed 9 times out of 10. It was ridiculous.
I remember though, like demo tapes, with loads of games on it.
Demo tapes?
Yeah.
Oh god!
Attached to like Commodore 64 magazines.
Now I remember demo discs, for original PlayStation and PS2, but
Tapes.
oh my
Demo
god,
tapes. Yep.
Right. What else do you want to talk about on here?
I mean, everything we'll get to, but
Yeah.
moving on from video, the next big thing was, of course, DVD.
Oh god,
I mean,
yeah.
there was Laserdisc, but Laserdisc was huge and impractical.
Yeah, it essentially Laserdisc and DVD went to the same thing as VHS and Betamax. You picked a side, and then whichever one was the most popular one, and obviously DVDs won. Even though
I haven't watched it yet, but there's a Simon Whistler video that basically says Laserdisc actually did win, and I need to watch it because it's that sounds controversial.
Yeah.
Big brain.
Yeah. So whenever VHS came out, what was the first thing you remember not seeing on VHS that was pushed and marketed on VHS?
2 things stand out.
Okay.
And I don't have one of them.
Right.
We did have a look at my DVD collection before we came online.
Yeah.
The cardboard cases you used to get.
Oh, God,
This
yeah.
is a cardboard case, but it wasn't like this. I mean, this is pretty flimsy and poor, but
Yeah.
it was a cardboard case that kind of opened like a regular DVD case, but had a little plastic
Had
clip.
the little class. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was terrible.
Oh God, yeah.
And this was back when a lot of DVDs were double-sided as well, dual-sided.
Oh, I hated that.
So you could never tell which side was the right side.
Yes. You want to put a movie on, but you put on the bonus features,
Yeah.
which was annoying. You had to take the thing out, flip it over, put it. And anyway,
But I remember the other thing about DVDs was extras, and this was a big thing about extras. It was great, you could have it was in the early days. It was small stuff like trailers, maybe
maybe a photo gallery,
maybe a photo gallery, maybe a bio gallery, something like that.
Yep.
But then there was always one other thing, which was frankly the one thing you bought a DVD for.
Yeah.
It was the greatest extra of all time. It was such an important extra.
It was beautiful. Beautiful.
That they actually made a big point of highlighting on the back.
Oh, yeah.
As the main
Yep.
extra a lot of the time.
And just to help you out, people, it's 2 words.
It's 2 words.
2 magical words.
Animated.
Menus.
That was a selling point.
Yeah.
That was a selling point.
Interactive menus was what you bought the DVD for.
Yeah.
To hell with the film on the TV show you wanted.
Well, the quality that was improved over VHS. No.
No.
It was the animated menus.
It was the menus that brought you in.
Oh.
It was so stupid.
Honestly,
it was
it was
so
ridiculous.
stupid. So stupid.
was.
Whenever DVDs came out, the one thing I remember that being pushed the most was The Matrix. Because The Matrix was the big movie. And obviously this is 1989. People were still using VHS. But the amount of adverts that I saw were of The Matrix available on VHS and a crystal clear DVD. And I got one a few years after, when the original double-sided disc came out. Because there was a feature on it. The one big one was Easter eggs. You could find the red
Easter
pills.
eggs. Do you get them anymore on DVDs?
Oh yeah,
and
you get them.
Blu-rays?
Yeah, you get them from time to time. Not all of them would have them. But
Yeah,
some of them
sometimes
would.
you would Easter eggs.
Yeah, I miss a good Easter egg hunt.
Oh, God.
But the DVD of The Matrix had you going through each of
DVD of The Matrix.
used
Did you
to
find
be that you go through each of the animated menus, which was a joy in itself, trying to find the red pill, which would lead on to a little bonus feature. And I remember vividly that many people would get, and it was that specific weird purpley coloured Matrix cover.
Yeah.
That one specifically. I'm
On the
pointing
right.
off screen, that doesn't help.
Far right.
Yeah, far right. There it is. Yeah. That specific one. And you could tell who the posh kids were because obviously they would have the DVD. And the DVD was amazing and awesome and fantastic.
And the poor kids would have VHS.
The VHS. And we used to beat the rich kids with the VHS.
VHS.
Oh, we didn't.
So I remember extras. Extras were huge on DVDs, and like even now, like everyone's like, "Oh, we're getting out of physical media is dying. We're moving over to digital."
Yeah.
I don't think physical is going to die completely because there's always going to be a market for extras. I mean, talking of extras, the Red Dwarf DVDs have got among the best extras there are.
Yeah.
And the releases of Red Dwarf have occasionally, even in the VHS days, have extras.
Yeah.
Which was a rarity on a VHS, on a video. The Red Dwarf 7 Extended was released. And it was released before the full series. And you got 3 episodes.
Yeah.
And they were all slightly extended. They were the original cuts before they got edited down for TV.
No laugh tracks.
No laugh track.
Yeah.
And it weirdly worked better.
Yeah. Yeah.
But they also had extras. They at the end of the video, you'd go to the end. So you'd have to, if you want to watch extras, you have to fast forward through.
Yeah.
But they had Smeg Ups.
Yep.
And they had the full-length Rimmer Munchkin song.
That's right, it did. Oh, but the one thing that I love the most, and it took me a good few years to fully appreciate it, was the audio commentaries. Audio commentaries on certain DVDs work perfectly.
Especially on the Red Dwarf. I would say.
The Red Dwarf ones
were just
are fantastic.
amazing.
My personal favourite one, and it still works even though I got the DVD in the 2000s, but it's from a film from 1987, Evil Dead 2. The audio commentary for Evil Dead 2 does not sound like a bunch of filmmakers telling how each shot was done and what preparation went in. It sounds like 5 friends talking like they were in a pub. And that's what I love about that. It's just good friends talking.
Evil Dead 1 also has fantastic commentary.
It does.
There's 2 tracks, one with Bruce Campbell, one with Sam and Robert.
Yeah.
Both are fantastic and very, very different.
Yeah. But if you get with Evil Dead 2, you get all of them together, and it's just like friends talking, and it's wonderful. It's incredible. If there's anybody watching, if you have any DVDs that you would recommend, or what was your first DVDs? Let us know in the comments. We want to talk about these because you've got 2 there, Ash, and obviously one of them is Sliders,
which the first 3 series of Sliders is fantastic, and then it just kind of went weird.
Yeah.
Which
was a bit of a shame. There is a Joe Blow video. He does a series. It's a channel, a YouTube channel where where they do a series called Gone But Not Forgotten. They do a good retrospective on Sliders and where it all kind of went wrong. Fox Network. But if you get a chance, watch that. Well, obviously, finish watching this and then go and find that. Don't go yet.
I love the fact that one of the extras on here is a text interview with the Turtles.
Ooh, text interview.
Interview.
Because we can't afford the actors to come back.
Okay, one of the worst audio commentaries, actually. Back to the Future. Because it's not an audio commentary. It's literally just an interview.
That's right.
A live interview that's done with...
Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale, yeah.
It's not an audio commentary. It's literally just an interview that's just put over it.
It's a Q&A it's a Q&A seminar that takes place after the film screening at a university. So everything they're talking about, which means that they'll be talking about scenes that haven't happened yet or have gone. They'll even talk about things that happen in the future sequels for an audio commentary on Back to the Future 1.
It is.
But it's still interesting.
Yeah.
It's just annoying that
But it's not an audio commentary.
No.
It's not.
No.
So... Back to toys, just briefly.
Yes.
Because we do have this here. I got this. I think this was about 40 quid, and I'm so pleased because it's complete. It is. Just look at that.
Yeah, I know. It's
just
beautiful.
Look. That is Raphael, who is the best turtle.
Nope.
He absolutely is. He is the best turtle. And this is... Yeah, I unboxed it. I don't give a smeg. I'm not one. I really am not one of those people who's like, box it.
I know. I should open up some of the toys that I have, but I can't do it. I want to, but
do you know the best way to actually get around that?
What's that?
Get ADHD.
Yeah, fair enough. Maybe not, but this is something. Now, just out of curiosity, did this happen because of the Transformers phase, or was this just something that they went through?
I don't know. I don't know why.
Oh, you've lost something.
No, I thought I had it.
Oh, thank God.
Just the ooze there.
Yeah. Yeah, you'd hate to open up a box and lose something, wouldn't you? That'd be terrible.
So even these mutate. I say they mutate, but you're like, Spike goes out, Spike goes in, Spike goes out, Spike goes in.
Just lean it.
Spike goes out.
Yeah, lean it more flat.
Yeah.
There you go, like that.
Spike goes out. Spike goes in.
So essentially it's I'm doing my garden, and then it becomes fork for eating lunch. And wow, did anybody have one of these? Because I don't remember these.
I remember them. I was a huge fan. I think I had one.
I don't like the fact that even out of the box, it does look like that Raphael is squatting.
I mean, he's got to do his squats, man. It's like so.
Yeah, morph him, Ash. Morph him.
Morph him. So you take off the shell like that.
Oh, of course.
And
yeah, keep going.
There's that little tail there that you can. I think didn't they get rid of the tails in the drawings because of the obvious reason?
What are you talking about? That looks perfectly innocent into child's eyes. Look, there's nothing wrong with that in any way, shape, or
It's
form.
Raphael's little sigh.
Do we have to blur that out?
But that's the tail.
Yeah, that's the tail. Right.
And so what happens is,
Uh-huh.
these little rubbery legs here come out.
Okay. That just looks so weird.
It does, doesn't it? And
I think
the
legs.
arms.
I think the legs have to go in first. Don't
No,
they?
the arms go. So the head comes out and spins around like so.
This is so weird.
And the arms go in there.
Okay.
The arms go in. And then
What
the
about
shell
the
comes back down.
legs?
These legs come forward like that. Alright. And these with his little tail, he just goes at the back there.
Looks so wrong. That looks like Raphael has been involved in a horrific car accident. What the hell?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles in the first episode, Raph just walks on screen, kill me! Kill me!
In that morphed state, his face looks up as we segue.
Oh yeah, beautiful segue.
Beautiful segues. It looks a little bit like James Pond.
Yeah, James Pond.
Codename Robocop.
Oh, it's just all of the weird. And I remember that they tried to do this whole James Pond thing, and I didn't get it. I did not get because I think they were coming off of the whole Sonic thing, weren't they? When they created
I don't know. This is, I think James Pond himself may predate Sonic. I don't know, but this game particularly, James Pond 2, is 1993. Manuals, Des, manuals.
Oh,
manuals.
proper actual manuals.
Yep, that tells you the story because it can't be done in the. You know this game, right?
Uh-huh.
So there's like 60 levels on it.
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me this.
I discovered that because the way you open up the levels is you go from door to door on this kind of overworld map.
Yeah.
And
So there's 60 doors?
no, there's like 11 doors, but each level has got like 3 different stages to it, so it's kind of a bit dishonest. And I went in the first door, and then I decided to explore the rest of the outworld, and I ended up getting all the way to the end of the map. And I went into another door, and I just thought, okay, this is cool. You can go into doors in whatever order.
Yeah.
And I fought against this boss, and I thought, oh, okay, I've got to one. This must be the boss at the end of this first section. It was the final boss. I did one level, and then beat the final boss, and I was like, oh.
How long
Okay.
did that take
Like
you?
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
But I liked these boxes. Because the Mega Drive ones were the same boxes.
Yeah. Those were back in the day where you got the game and you got the instruction manual and everything was kind of laid out there for you.
Yeah.
I don't think most of these levels, they didn't even have tutorial levels, did they? They just kind of you had to read the manual in order to get the story and get how you played everything. There was no hand-holding back in the day.
James Pond 2 literally just title screen, press start, begin.
All right, do me a favor, put that back because it's just weird. Obviously, last week we did that episode on Sonic the Hedgehog on the Master System.
He's stuck.
Yes, you've broken your turtle.
No, he sticks, he gets stuck.
Okay, is it because the thingies are pegged in?
It shouldn't be, no.
No.
You continue talking. I'll try and sort out Raphael.
We did the playthrough of Sonic. I grew up with the Mega Drive. That was my first console, and then I went on to PlayStation. And myself and Ash, we share a love of Sonic and Resident Evil. I don't know, are you a Metal Gear fan? Do you like Metal Gear?
No, I never really got into Metal Gear.
That's all right. We still have Resident Evil, and we will be doing those episodes one day. But they seem to come in like these weird trends, because obviously Sonic came along, and then you got James Bond, Resident Evil came along, and then you got like Silent Hill and all these other type of knockoffs. They come in.
Would you say Silent Hill was a knockoff? I'd say Silent Hill was a response.
Yeah, it's not a knockoff. It's more, like a
It's
reaction.
so very, very different.
Well, obviously one was done by Konami, and the other was done by Konami. Because I just remembered that both of those franchises... actually, no, Resident Evil is Capcom. That's right, yeah.
No, Silent Hill was basically Konami went, we need to do a survival horror.
Yeah.
And so they put together a group of misfits and basically said, make a Resident Evil for us. And they didn't. And they didn't. They just went off and did their own thing. And Silent Hill is...
Yeah.
Silent Hill is a better horror game than Resident Evil.
It's a psychological head mess.
Yeah.
But it's when it comes to survival horror, you kind of look at, you used to look at Resident Evil, and then you've got Chris Redfield punching a boulder, but
which in Resident Evil 8 is referenced Heisenberg when you're fighting Heisenberg.
Yeah.
Heisenberg,
that boulder punching asshole.
Yeah. So I think we're kind of coming to the end now.
We are.
Our hour is about up.
Yeah.
If you were to sum up the 90s in one phrase or sentence, how would you?
Phrase or sentence? That's a tough one.
Or just something 90s. How would you sum up the 90s as a closing statement?
All right. How would I sum up the 90s? If I want to feel nostalgia about the 90s, I would nestle down with a nice box of After Eights and Ferrero Rocher. I'd pour myself a glass of Sunny D. I'd stick on my VHS copy of Noel's House Party, and I'd snuggle up to my Mr. Blobby human-sized pillow, and I would smoke all the cigarettes that I wanted, because they didn't give a toss back then about advertising cigarettes in any way, shape, or form. And I would just think happy thoughts of Rick Mail as he promoted Nintendo games.
Oh God.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that.
Yeah.
So basically, just everything 90s I would do. What about you, Ash? How would you sum up the 90s?
The 90s was an era of colour and explosion and innovation technologically. Mm-hmm. Mobile phones really became consumer friendly in the 90s. The internet came along. Mm-hmm. The 90s was an era of change. Yeah. An era that got us from the previous world to the modern world that we have now. The 90s was that transitional period.
Yep.
And it was a formative period for many of us. And nostalgia of the 80s and 90s now is a huge thing. Yep. It is a popular thing. Mm-hmm. And manufacturers have realised this.
Oh, God, yes. That's right. There is a reason why many franchises are now coming back, why the Ghostbusters, real Ghostbusters toy line is being reintroduced, because the kids of then are the adults of today, and you know what the adults of today have?
Money.
Not a chance of renting or getting their own homes, but we do have enough disposable income that we will buy our own little green ghost just to get those nostalgia tingles.
Or
yeah.
A Mallets. This came with a signed postcard.
Have you got a signed card?
I have. It's in my autograph cabinet.
You can't show it off, man, because people will literally break down this door to get Timmy Mallett's autograph.
I know. But yeah, that's how I would sum up the 90s.
Yeah.
And if you want to know more and find out more about our love of the 90s, Ash and Des Remember is our weekly podcast.
Yep.
You can find it at ashanddes.co.uk. If you're watching on Facebook, you're already on our Facebook page.
Yep.
On social media, Ash Des Remember, Twitter and Facebook. I think we have an Instagram. We don't use it.
I think there's like 3 shots on there.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll do more.
Yeah.
You know,
we're older millennials. We don't use this newfangled technology.
Yeah. We'll send you all. We'll send you all dot matrix text messages from our Nokia 3310s.
Yeah, on your pager.
Yeah. We are essentially what Brie Larson dressed as when she did Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
We're all walking around with our 9 Inch Nails t-shirts and our leather jackets trying really, really hard to be cool. But deep down, we just want to borrow Ash's VHS of Voyager.
Yes. Oh, nice bringing it back.
Thank you.
If you've enjoyed this, or if you haven't and you pity us, go to paypal.me/noisyghost. There is actually just down there the link. Mm-hmm. And do give us a donation if you can. It'd be really appreciated. It'll mean we can buy more Mighty Max for Des. And
and more mini boglins for
me.
for Ash. But more than anything else, folks, because we're trying our hardest to be somewhat entertaining in these difficult times. We know that everybody's struggling, but if you can donate something towards us, we'd greatly appreciate that. We're going to be doing more podcasts soon. Like Ash said, this is a weekly thing, so we will be doing more. We'll edit them. We'll put them out as soon as. We're hoping that we
do more live streams as well.
We're hoping to do
really
some more
enjoyed
live
these.
streams. But more than anything else, folks, thanks a lot for spending your Saturday. Friday. Yeah, I'm losing track of the weeks. Yeah.
On Saturday, actually, 8:30, Wins the Internet, the last episode of our geeky nerdy internet game show, featuring myself, Des, and actor friend Kenny Boyle.
Yeah. If you want to come along to that, you're more than welcome. Greatly appreciated. But for now, I think we're going to wrap this up.
Yep.
So I get to say, he's been Ash Price.
He's been Des O'Gorman.
And we've remembered the 90s. Bye for now.
That's a little bit too nostalgic.
Yeah, it is a little bit.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Keep it geeky.
Yeah, actually, you know what? If I had a stack of papers, I could have done what they always did at the end of News at 10, where they just go, bye for now.
Bye for now.